Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video, I'm going to be watching the English trailer for Final Fantasy XIV patch 5.3. I haven't watched it yet. Normally I do these patch trailer review things, and I've watched it before. I've only watched the Japanese one, so this will actually genuinely be a first reaction, and then we'll try to find different parts, break certain things down, things that I noticed in the first, but I kind of want the English translation. I just want to watch it because it was so hype even in the Japanese version with the things that we saw that I'm shutting up. Let's just get into it. Let me make sure the volume is good. That should be fine. God, just inject this into my veins. We're gonna watch the whole thing first, by the way.
Yours is a long road, my friend.
Another star shower. Wait, is that?
And there may come a day when you forget the faces and voices of those you have met along the way.
Never. God, I can't wait for this. Dude, that's us breaking in.
Excellent. I had intended to speak with you alone.
Oh, that's
Is
that a drama?
Such a cacophony of voices. Can you truly be sure you still speak with your own?
That's my boy. I called it. I called it. Sapphire weapon right there. I couldn't really see his face. I gotta pause
No.
on that.
I won't let you go alone. Not this time.
Thank you, Braha.
The joy you have known.
Ooh. Every time.
The pain you have felt. The prayers you have whispered and answered.
Come, warrior of darkness. Let us finish this.
They shall ever be your strength and your comfort. When all is said and done, I would ask a favor of you.
Oh, you can't ask a favor. Oh no, he's gonna wake us. I'm telling you, man, it's gotta be something with Source Grahatia. Okay, so pretty much the entire trailer is being spoken over by Graha, except for a few specific parts that I definitely want to go back and grab. So first of all, this looks like it's probably the end, actually, after everything is said and done. The star shower looks like it's kind of been resolved here, so I'm assuming this is kind of like the scene of us seeing when what's his face, when Graha actually successfully sends everybody back to the source. We do see Thancred saying goodbye to Reen, and we do also know that in 5.2 Thancred basically kind of already said goodbye to Reen, so we'll know not to see Thancred and Urianger in patch 5.4's Eden update, so they're going to be without them. Now the Crystal Tower, I don't think will vanish or anything like that, but you can see this scene right here is very solemn. It's nighttime again, but it's a natural night, and it's just all clear skies. This is a very serene scene that we have right here for Shadowbringers. It could be like a calm before the storm style thing, but you see this with the hero's gauntlet across Novron. Like, you see the Crystal Tower, you see the star showers that are in the rest of the trailer itself. So this is Elidibus' endgame, essentially. We kind of get an idea of what it is, a more direct, I guess, link to it. He kind of spoke vaguely, but he pretty much achieved exactly what he said he was setting out to do at the end of 5.0. In that he said, in order to defeat the Warrior of Darkness, I will summon the Warriors of Light. And he seems to have, he's just taken that very literally. My question is, are these warriors of light are these the warriors of light he's created by, giving everyone the echo or giving everyone the gift back in 5.2? And are these then like converted warriors of light, or are these actually from other shards, other times, similar to Graha's magic? Did he somehow use the crystal tower to do any of this stuff? It makes sense as to why it's such a central point for everything that we see with Graha. Now we know the Hero's Gauntlet dungeon is largely going to be going across the entirety of Novrant. We can see going through Ilmeg, Lakeland, all sorts of different regions. We even see in Yulmore when the showers themselves actually start. You can see them here, and then it just never ends from that point on. Although the sky is a little bit less bleak in some of these images right here until the Warriors of Light all start coming down. You can see. I wonder, was that a solo instance? Oh, it's got NPCs. It's got Rain and Alice. But that's probably just part of the Hero's Gauntlet. It's all the like wildlife is like going nuts and like fighting each other. That's what it looks like at the very least. I can see the Numo are actually fighting here. You can catch a few glimpses of them like right down there and a couple of them back there, all fighting almost like the enraged wildlife that fight up. You can see a bunch of Fays. You can see some light people. There's all sorts of things going on, but basically the Warriors of Light are all over Novrant, and so you can see the actual the inhabitants actually having to deal with that. So it is very much like a final battle, kind of like we were promised with Elidibus. I'm assuming that's Hyphlodius. It's really hard to tell with the ancients, with the Emiratians, but if there's any one, I mean, I've already seen people suggesting maybe that's what like our shade that like Emmett remembers, but I think it's most likely Hyphlodius because even he kind of recognized us and recognized what he was. So he's my first guess here. I don't think it's going to be a different Emiratian or Venat or anything like that. I just don't think it will be, but all those are still very, very open. There's a lot of light on the screen, but this is the boss they showed us in the preview. No, actually, that's the final boss, who's like a giant berserker. Like, I don't know. This was nuts to see, just like from a design. Like, look at him. So I'm wondering if that's. So there's a couple of specific aspiring warriors of light that we dealt with in 5.2. We didn't deal with, but like they went off on their journey, and I can't help but wonder if that's one of them, because that's certainly a transformation if it is, or if this is again something from another shard or something that was summoned, or it's big question marks. But that design. He's not messing around. Let's just put it that way. I really like the design of that. I'm assuming that's the last boss of the dungeon for the Hero's Gauntlet. If it's not the boss that we're actually getting a minion of, which is the lady that we saw. This is Bajja. This looks like this is part of the final critical engagement. We actually detailed this in the live letter itself, where we're going to be breaking into a Bajjan fort. And it looks like we've taken some of their tech and used it against them to barrel out an entrance. You actually see, it looked so, if you get a very quick glimpse, there was a boss inside. Its defeated enemy model disappeared and is disappearing right now, and they're breaking in simultaneously. So I'm wondering if it's like a two-pronged attack, where there's like an attack unit, because you can see the ladders along the side as well. So I'm wondering if the first unit was responsible for dealing with the forces on the inside, and the other unit is for breaking open the gates to get the reinforcements in. Which would mean it's two front. It's supposed to be 48 people, so it could be something as detailed as that. We do also, there's a Warrior of Light attacking us in our Yulmoran ship. We do get Elidibus. We already knew Ardbert was Elidibus, so that's not really much of a surprise of anything. But yeah, then you can see that's another whole boss on the fort itself. So this engagement's going to be very, very involved. That kind of looks like the model of the thing we were destroying by the gate. There could just be more than one. There could be a lot of enemies that are modeled like this. But we also see, I think, is that a Dramlik? It's been a while since I've played 12, so I think that's a Dramlik from 12. I don't know if that's the final boss, but it certainly is a boss. I'm fairly certain that's a Dramlik, which makes sense. Remember, you have to have completed the Return to Ivalice raid series, and we know the Espers and the Auracite are very much an important aspect of that. We also know that that the Garleans went in afterwards and like retrieved a lot of the technology, and they may have found things that are going to lead to more things like more Final Fantasy XII Espers appearing, or we still don't know what Tartarus exactly is from that lore piece. So I would expect to see more of the Final Fantasy XII Espers that we haven't seen already, even though we have slayed quite a few of them in the Return to Ivalice raids. We also have this. This scene is interesting. So I've been waiting to rewatch this scene a few times. That looks like Regula. Regula's supposed to be dead. So I don't know if we got another Nail situation here where Regula died and like a relative took over his mantle, or if this is a flashback scene and the lighting is just really awkward. I can't help but feel like that's Regula. Now, or I'm sorry, it's somebody pretending to be Regula. It doesn't look like Nail precisely. No, I'm pretty sure that's the Regula headpiece. This might be, yeah, here's the thing though. The child over there is an interesting note because she's clearly, this isn't like when Gaius first adopted her. She's way older at this point. But at the same time, we have the kid that's back there, and I can't tell I can't tell the gender. I don't see any horns. It's kind of hard to tell. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Even if it is, I wonder if that's going to be a teaser to the other Oversouls, because we're still trying to figure out what the other Oversouls are going to be for the Ruby weapon. After the Ruby weapon, because we've got Nail already. So a lot of people are guessing. I still think one of them will be Gaius, personally. I think it would be very poetic if they fought him with his own battle data. People are suspecting maybe Regula, but honestly, his combat data is not very interesting, if anyone recalls. Obviously, there's also the possibility of Xenos. We already fought what's his face in Memoria Misera, Varus, so probably wouldn't use him. So I don't know, but it looks like Regula's helmet. So it's just a question of if it is a flashback, how far back? It couldn't be that far back because Regula died fairly recently, and she is much older than the other flashbacks we've had with the adopted children. We got Gaius here, who's clearly still pissed about what's going on. He's not happy. But dude, I called it. I called this since the beginning. As soon as I saw that looked like an Ironworks robot, I called it. I said it's a giant robot fight. It has to be. There's no other option that's not Sapphire Weapon. I'm so glad I was right about that. So there you go. And then we just have a little Echo flashback. That's the guy who's piloting the Sapphire Weapon. I want to get a good look at Sapphire. So that's Sapphire. I can't really see. I'm trying to see if there's any like details about him that would tease me as to what, like the very top I have a hard time seeing. But it kind of looks like it's Regulus, which would make sense again, because we just saw him in that like flashback-ish scene and he's gone. So his combat data would be very well known. So it kind of looks like that, but it's, I don't know. It would make sense. I think it makes perfect sense with them also teasing Regula earlier. I feel like the callback is very immediate. So he'll probably be the Oversoul for this. It would also make sense, honestly, with like this sword-wielding Gundam robot that we have. It would actually be kind of perfect because he's kind of known for that style of combat. But then again, so is Gaius. We have a giant laser, in case you're wondering. Giant laser. That's all you really needed to see. Flying in a Realm Reborn. I'm kind of curious about this camera angle pan. I think it's just dramatic effect. I don't think we're actually going to get that camera angle pan as part of the flying, or even as a function. I think that's just clever camera angle stuff. This scene, of course, is another interesting one. Again, we're in the Crystal Tower at this point, surrounded by Warriors of Light, and our boy Graha is not having a good time. We see this constantly throughout the artwork, throughout the patch trailer. His body is not taking well to everything that's happening, and we don't know if that's just because of the effects of us actually saving the world, or if it's a result of the timeline changing because of Elidibus and what he's interfering with. So there's still some pretty big question marks on that, but it looks hype as hell. Then we have the near raids. I'm not super big into these, but I kind of like that they're showing there is more of an immediate threat with the robots, in that they're actually push the dwarves out of Colucia. That's why they end up having to go to Lakeland. It specifically looks like the Comran dwarves are being pushed out above all else. And that 2P is not having it. We get a quick look at the shadowy figures. Our gear sets are actually coming from those shadowy figures that we are fighting. I can count 6, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if there's one that she's kind of blocking vision of. And the music gets really hype around here. You can see some, again, I don't know if those are robots or if those are people in just white suits. I'm assuming they're robots, and because they're very autonomous. Everything here is autonomous. That's actually inside the puppet's bunker. That's the first boss. You can fall off, by the way. There's the actual bombing run that you actually get of the Comran village. That's inside again. I wonder if we can see anything. Oh yeah. Look on the monitors in the back. Yeah, that's those monitors probably speak Aura. Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah, the glory of mankind. Yorha for the glory of mankind. Yeah. You can see that constantly. Glory to mankind, or glory of mankind, actually, for the glory of mankind in the back. So yeah, this is the space station from that. So I mean, we all knew what the puppet's bunker was already, but there's some fun little things for anyone who knows the Nier lore back there. Become as memes, yeah, pretty much. And then we just get a few more peeks. This is another one of the bosses. Looks like, I assume it's actually the full boss. But it looks like there's actually very few people here. I don't know if that's for cinematic effect or because they've split off from the groups, like for different parts of the encounter. It's kind of hard to tell. Even during the pan out, you don't really see too many more people. So that one's a little bit tough to tell. We also have, looks like, oh, you know what's actually really interesting about this? So there's a bunch of robots that I don't know if those are probably attacking us, but they almost look like they're facing. Oh, you know what? I think they're doing AoEs on their platforms. Yeah, because they're standing over each of the 3 platforms for the alliances. They're probably doing point blank AoEs or something like that around. It's hard to tell. I was trying to look to see. I'd imagine like the shadowy figures are in these, but they're also very conspicuously over all 3 of the alliance platforms, so I'd assume that you just don't want to be near them. This I don't understand. This is kind of messed up. We've got a Hrothgar who looks to be mind controlled of some kind. He could just be summoned in. He could Orisight. Orisight would make a lot of sense. He's probably got Orisight. So that I don't think that's Gunhildr. Oh, I wonder if that crown is something that they picked up from the Alligans. He's also got the weapon relics. He might be a blade of Gunhildr. Reminder that Gunhildr is a queen. So, and that she had blades that all wielded her legendary weapons. And we know that what's his face? Why is the name escaping me from Final Fantasy 12? I keep wanting to say Caius. Somebody help me out. I can't get his name. His name is just escaping me. I don't know why I can't get it right now. I'm thinking too many things at once. No, not Gabranth. That's what I was looking for. We know Gabranth is not against using summoning magic. So when he mentions wielding the blades of Gunhildr against us, a lot of people thought that he was gonna summon Asura or something like that. It's possible he could have just straight up summoned the warriors of old, the Hrothgarian legends, the blades themselves, and that he's actually wielding part of it. So we even, a little bit of an attack symbol. This is us attacking again. And then we get Makoto, who's still really worried. Reminder that Makoto, her echo lets her see into the future. And it's supposedly not a future that can be altered. It's set in stone and cannot be changed. That's what we're led to believe right now. So her face being like that tells us, oh man, Elidibus, why'd you do it? Look, it just instant. Why would you even let him get that close? Why would you even think to let him get that close? Maybe he can't see him. Maybe he's flying under the radar. He's just like, yeah, we can have a nice peaceful talk. Boom! Elidibus is not messing around no more. And then they're starting to get attacked by Warriors of Light. I can't even really see what's going on here. Was that? Oh, I wonder, is this the start of the dungeon? Or is that the final boss? Because that boss, I can't tell where they are. Is that in Yulmore? Because, that would make sense if it's like the start of yeah, that is the top floor of Yulmore. Maybe the Hero's Gauntlet dungeon starts in Yulmore. We take the airship, and then we crash land outside of, way outside of the Crystal Tower and stuff like that. No, it doesn't have to be. I would never take any use of limit breaks in trailers seriously. They use the Dark Knight limit break in everything. constantly. But I do see some other... it's really hard to tell. It could have something to do with the trial itself, and it could just be considered not a major spoiler. Because it's kind of weird if they would include that, especially if it is the top floor of Yulmore. But you're right, there is a ninja, there is a dragoon, and there is a dancer. So it might be part of the 8-man that they consider not spoiler enough to actually include. So there's actually 4 TPS in it, unless they're really just memeing for the sake of getting a cool trailer shot, which they've done before. I remember when we got the test, the benchmark, when they had 9 people against, like, you know, whatever. They also use like LB3s and like 4-man content all the time. So it could just be like an ad phase spoiler or something like that. And then you have Elidibus summoning a bunch of Warriors of Light. You have one of the Bajja bosses again. You got Best Boy here, whose crystals almost look to be fading as his entire body is taken over. He's also in the woods somewhere. Then there's that. There's all the Warriors of Light. And then Elidibus says, let's finish this. Pretty much confirming he's going to be the boss, but it's going to almost... I'm guessing it's Elidibus' throne. He's also on Zonde's throne. He's actually at the top of the Crystal Tower right here, with Zonde's throne right behind him. So that's something that's also worth mentioning as well. And then, then we get these last few words, finish the fight. And then he says, after that, after this is all said and done, I have a favor to ask you. So I'm wondering if that's just, I think that's just our teaser for 6.0, but I still can't help but feel like it has to do with Source Graha. It's, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, man. I need this. Inject this into my veins immediately. I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it. All right. I got Regula there. I got my giant robot battle. I got my Bajja battles. Lena's looking upset. And it's just, all right. That's it. I need it. All right. That's all I need to say. I'm good. I think we've analyzed it enough. We'll probably analyze it more on State of the Realm, but my word, go watch it. Go watch it a million times over. Also, there's another video. I'm not going to watch it in this. It's the Pulse album. It's an EDM album for Final Fantasy XIV they're releasing. That video is out too. So I'd recommend you go check that out and pre-order that because I already have. But yeah, that was, dude, it feels like a decade since I played 14 or I was so excited for 14, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. August 11th and then probably late September for Bajja. Let's do it. Awesome. Good, great, grand, wonderful. No yelling on the bus. I'm going to wrap up this video now. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for putting up with me on Twitch while I did this, and on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section of the video below. Thank you again. I'll see you all in the next one. And until then,